Good evening. It is 6:02 by the clock in the back, and so I want to get started and call us to order. Jeff Daggy, will you pray for us this evening?
Heavenly Father, we come together tonight to do your business, and we're grateful we have the opportunity to do that. We pray for wisdom that you allow us to think clearly and make decisions that are pleasing in your sight. And we're just so grateful to be here. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Thank you, Jeff. So just so everybody know that if you have a question tonight, raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you because it is being recorded for our benefit and for our treasurer's benefit as well. So just keep that in mind. This packet of information that you have, there's only a limited amount. So if you have, you've already looked it over and you're okay with it, you don't have anything. If somebody else would like one, raise your hand if you'd be willing to share. Because if you need one, anybody want to get one and see it? Rick, Rick, well, you were asking, have you already looked at one? Good? Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. So this packet has been out a week in advance for you to look at. So I am asking for a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. Asking for a motion. We got a first from Judy, second from Rick. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Okay, very first thing, we want you to look at the adoption of the minutes, the approval of the minutes from our October business meeting and two special called business meetings. If you want to know those, the page for the first one is on page 2 for our October business meeting. Page 5 is for the December special called business meeting, and page 6 is the January 11th business meeting. You take a time to look those over, and then I will entertain a motion once we have looked those over. Oh, which place? As I turn through the word, yes, I got you. I should have known that. All right, we'll make a note of that. Doesn't really need to change anything, just the spelling of his name. He still prayed. All right, thank you. I know, I get that way too. And if you really want to be technical, Lewis Wells' name is spelled W-E-L-L-S, not E-S. All right, take a motion. Ricky, is that a motion to accept? Second? Thank you, Miss Deb Butler. Any questions? Thank you. All in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion passes. Sounds like a horse up here. That's okay. She doesn't. I hate to say it, but she's not a member yet, so it doesn't work. All right. But I've had adults do that too, so we're good. All right, so what do we got to? Any old business? Old business. Not seeing none. We'll go on to membership additions and deletions. If you find page 7, you will see a list of new people and one letter that went out. Take a motion to accept that as printed. Jamie, thank you. Is that a second? Judy, a second. Any questions? All in favor say aye to accept. Aye. All opposed say nay. I looked. Couldn't help it. Motion passes. All right, next up is going to be our stewardship report and financial report. Michael stepped down at the first of the year as our church treasurer. And Andy has stepped into as the interim position because we're still wanting somebody to take it full time to do that. So I'm going to ask Andy if he'll come and go through the financials. And if he can answer any questions, please do so.
try to make this quick. Everybody go to page 8 of the booklet. So this is for the full 12 months of this past year. The first section, all I'd like to say is talk about stewardship. Our annual budget for this past year was $771, but we actually only spent $602. So we're actually ahead of budget. We say we didn't spend $168 that was in the budget. Okay. A large bulk of that was the budgeted interest on the loan on the build out, and due to the tithing and giving to the church with a one fund helped delay that till later in the year. So I'm only going to stick on this page. Everything behind it is just like the trees. This is the forest. Those are the trees. If anybody's got a question about the trees, we can get into it. The second section is what we actually brought in, $1,044,000, of which we only spent $602, which is the same which what above. So we actually increased our reserves by $441. So definitely blessed. The only area that we slightly spent more than budget is just in missions, under the 2025 missions outreach section. In outreach, we were under budget. Any questions?
All right, so let's just go and ask the question. Is there a motion to accept what Andy's talked about as printed? Take a motion for that. Kathy? Kevin, thank you. No questions. All in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion passes. Thank you, Andy. So if you know of somebody that would like to take the position of church treasurer, just FYI, Oh, you may have some. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, let's go on down. Church council report. I guess I'll do that one so that everybody kind of know, because I'm on the pastoral side of the church council. So if you look at the last part of your packet, for me, it is going to look like this because I have it put in, but it's going to say Calvary Baptist structure, 2026 additions and deletions. It's going to be 1 through 6. If you notice there are a lot of people that are new. There's a lot of open spots on there. And if you look on page 3 of 6, page 3, at the very top, it says Administrating Core Ministry. Matt was doing that. However, Matt's term rotated off, and he said he could no longer fulfill that duty. So we will be opening that back up for nominations from the church floor, okay? So that if you know somebody that would possibly fit that, but I want to read the requirements to you. Yes, I did bring a plaque, because this plaque's going to be outside on one of the tables for you to go by. So not the 1st through the 15th, which means the 1st, the 8th, and the 15th will give you opportunities to nominate somebody, okay? Stop right there. So here's the qualification requirements for consideration as a administration core ministry. Candidate must be a member of Calvary Baptist Church for at least 3 years. Candidates must have experience serving in basic ministries that fall within the particular core ministry which they are nominated. They must meet biblical standards for spiritual leadership. They must agree to the principles and doctrines with the tenets of the church. All candidates will actively support the ministry's activities and the life of the church body through stewardship, prayer, attendance of worship services, weekly Bible study, prayer times, fellowship, and or special events, to perform assigned duties relevant to the conduct of weekly church services. I did not write that. You all did. Okay? Core ministry director will serve 4 years and may serve consecutive terms. So like I said, this is going to be out in the foyer on one of the tables, probably the one closest to the door that you can have. And next week, there'll be ballots. And you can put a name of it. Ask the person before you put the name of that person on the ballot. I know it should be common sense, but you just write somebody's name and they don't have a clue. Me and Will, when we go to approach them, they're going to look at us and go, why are you talking to me? So talk to the person first before you nominate them for this position. Do not hand me or Will the papers. You hand them to our church clerk, which is Miss Vicky sitting on the front row. She'll be out there the 1st, the 8th, and the 15th. Okay? Just FYI, that's one of those positions that we need to have filled. This will be out there, and next week you'll have that up. Any questions about that? We have 4 core ministry people. You see them in line on that paperwork on your structure. Okay? All right. Let's look at that structure real quick so that if you have any questions, we can go through that. I just like to go through it one by one. If you look at administrative side on page 3, you see everybody there. There's new people on building and grounds, stewardship. I think trustees, they just rotated back on. Some of them did. There is one caveat for campus planning. Kim come to me today and said that she had somebody that would like to be added to that, and that individual is Marlon Gladfelter, would like to serve and has been asked and has agreed to serve on campus planning. So if you would write his name down there. There's another person we're looking at, but we're not going to get into a semantics on how that's done. When he comes forward and says yes, then we'll come back to the church at the next business meeting. It's just easier that way. Okay? All right, those are the only one that I know that is new on the list. Stewardship, building and grounds, campus planning. Okay? Turn over, you can look at discipleship. We are in need of a young adult teacher, but you see everything else that involves Will's student ministry, to Awanas, to LightHouse. You see everybody that's doing something within our church that are listed there. Okay? InReach, Eddie is in charge of that. You'll see things that are open there. I will just say right now, we do have some people that are leading seasoned saints, but there's not one person leading that per se. If you feel led to do that, come see me, Jamie, or Richard. We'll be glad to put you in that position. By the way, we are having a good time, aren't we, seasoned saints, on Tuesdays when we meet together? All right. Okay. Last page is outreach, and you'll see also there are 2 open spots available for missions team. So if you want to be a part of missions, can do that. See Miss Joyce. I'm sure she would gladly have you on the team. Any questions with any of these areas that we have just went through? All right, so this comes, Will. Hang on a second. Let Ricky hand you a mic so everybody can hear you.
I think Roger's name was just missed on the deacons, just so nobody thinks we took him off of there or anything. He may step down at some point, but Roger still is a deacon.
Correct. He has not formally put in his resignation. He has talked about it, but he has not formally done that. So that was just our mishap on that. Thank you, Will. Yes, sir.
If there's any names missing on here, should they notify the office?
Well, we'd like to know now.
Okay, so Matt Cosma's on the security team. He's not listed on there.
All right. Thank you. We'll put him on there. That way when we say I in just a moment, he's on there. Matt, everybody hear that? All right. Anybody else?
I believe Colin is on the security team as well, but his name's not on there.
There you go. Colin Eggleton. All right. Thank you, Ricky. So this comes from church council. Does not need a first or a second. All in favor of accepting these as printed, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. All right. I think I did both of those at the same time in regards to approval of structure and nominations for that. Yes. I don't see anybody. Kim, you want to say anything about campus planning, or are you just going to wait till we get done? Okay. Deacon report, and I'm going to put those together, deacon and personnel. Will?
Not a lot for deacons report. We have identified 2 individuals which to come alongside the deacons over the next year as a yokeman, I think is the term we're going to use, and then the church will still have to nominate them to be deacons if that moves forward at some point. For personnel, the only addition would be the nursery worker, Lisa.
Correct.
So we've got that in place, and that's a good deal. And then the worship pastor, which everybody heard about that at the special call business meeting, so that's coming in place in a couple weeks.
Correct.
They'll be here to start that process. So that's all.
Okay. Thank you, Will. Mark your calendar for the weekend of February the 8th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. That we'll be getting more information out to you as Matt Whitworth will be here that weekend. All right, general business. Anybody have any general business they'd like to discuss? All right, seeing none. Next thing, the Southern Baptist Convention will be in Orlando, Florida, June the 7th through the 10th. I am asking that this church vote to approve me and Will and or our spouses, if they'd like to go, to be messengers to the Southern Baptist Convention. Now, Will may not want to go, but when it's in our state, I want to go. Used to, I didn't, I almost want to say, yeah, I didn't care years ago. But now that I'm a pastor, I'm a little more interested in what's going on in my realm and seeing things. So I would like to ask the church to consider your staff. Let's just put it that way. In case we have a worship pastor then, that our staff would be messengers at the 2026 Southern Baptist Convention in Orlando. Okay? Okay, Ricky makes a motion. Do I have a second? There's several. Jamie, Will, and or Judy. All right, the